Let me guess. You've been blaming LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all of the other plethora of social media accounts or platforms out there on why it is you're not yet successful or as successful as you once anticipated you would be by now, right? But guess what? That is not why your business is being blocked from booming, okay? It isn't. And so, if you have been showing up every single day on a daily basis, you've been posting content, you've been tweaking hashtags, you've been just being consistent, as everybody says, especially on this YouTube universe, right? All of these gurus and even people who have had some level of success who don't deem themselves as a guru will tell you that consistency is the key. And then you say, but I've been consistent. I've been posting. I've been showing up. I'm posting on my community tabs. I'm networking. I'm showing up on LinkedIn. I'm reaching out to people. I'm in the DMs on Instagram. I am here on YouTube doing content every single week. I'm going live. I'm doing all the things. I'm being routine. I am, obviously like constantly doing what everybody says to do. And yet I don't see any results and I don't see the fruits of my labor coming to fruition. Like, what in the hell else do I need to do? And then, of course, all of the rules are changing on a day-to-day basis, right? And then you say to yourself, it's got to be the algorithm because I'm still hearing crickets. But guess what? I know all too well what your frustration is like. I really and truly do. Okay. I know what you're experiencing. And that's exactly why I made this video for you. Okay. Because I actually recorded a video titled, I've been posting for 9 years and still not monetized on YouTube. Okay. And today, by the way, that is still my best performing video. Who knew? I'm not even talking. This is not what this channel is about, YouTube, right? I don't pretend to be a YouTuber or, excuse me, a YouTube guru, right? Or expert in any way. I just literally shared my story and my journey. And who knew that was going to be the video who took off for me? Now, I say all that to say that if you want some inspiration and motivation and you want to know what that journey was like, and, just because I want you to understand that I truthfully do resonate with you, you can go ahead after this video and check that video out. Okay. I'll make sure that I also have it in the card above and or in the link below. So you can just go ahead and click it and go there. But I digress. Thankfully, and I really sincerely say thankfully, I built a bankable business, right? Throughout the years, I've been in this particular business in the online and coaching and consulting space for the last 9 years. And so I monetize my God-given gifts, my talents, right? My skill set, my years of experience in corporate America and leadership, which was 30 years in corporate America, 25 plus years in the healthcare industry as a nurse, and then 20 plus years in leadership and about a decade in coaching and consulting. And so I had to monetize all of that because if I did not, my God, girl, let me tell you, if I solely relied on the algorithm, which is often what people, it's kind of like the last resort or the first go to is the algorithm's out to get me. If I had to rely on the algorithm, child, let me just tell you, I would be broke. Okay. Broke as a joke and ready to choke, as they say, or as we used to say back in the day. Okay. So I just need you to know I hear you. I really do truthfully understand your frustration. And again, that's why I made this video. Now, before we go any deeper, allow me to reintroduce myself or to introduce myself if you're new to me or true to me. Thank you for being here. Welcome or welcome back. Katrina Marie here. I am a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader, by the way, and I deem myself a freedom strategist. And so I help or teach successful corporate career women and high achieving women entrepreneurs how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health, healing, or happiness. Okay. And if you're looking to transition out of your 9-to-5 with the corporate world altogether, I'm your girl. All right. Now, let's get back to the topic at hand because this is like a whole debacle here going on. Right. So let's talk about some truth, some hard truths. Right. But I've got to tell you the truth because I'm a truth teller. And I really and truly don't believe that sugarcoating anything is going to service you in any way, right? It's going to actually not do you any justice. And I am not here for that. I'm here to actually help you. Okay. Now, clarity is the problem. Okay? I need you to be open to hearing what I have to say and able to receive the truth. Because if we know the truth, we can deal with it. But if we at least don't at first admit to it and then accept it as the truth, and we keep, we're in this denial stage, then we're never going to get to the bottom line and be able to fix the problem, right? So the algorithm is not the problem. Clarity is. So if you don't have a clear message, and I talk about clear messages and this clarity and messaging and all of that a lot on my channel, by the way. So, and I also talk about mindset a lot. So it's in combination, it's really, you have to change your mindset. Yes, but you also have to be clear in your message. Okay. If you are selling anything, whatever you're selling here, whatever your offers are, your digital products, whatever your digital assets are, coaching and consulting or whatever. Okay. Are you actually selling that as the particular offer, or are you selling the actual result? Do you know what I mean? If that confuses you, let me just go a little bit further. You need to show up in a way that people understand that you are the expert, right? That you are the authority in your industry, that you are the subject matter expert, and you understand through firsthand, experience, through lived experience, through personal, professional development, from actually going through the journey yourself, case studies from people you've helped, even if it's you that you've helped, right? Whatever it might be, but you've got to let people know that you are the it girl, okay? And you've also got to tell them what it is that they're suffering with right now and how it is that you can help them get out of that pain or get to the urgent need or the desire that they actually have, which is your solution, right? And the actual results, the benefits, okay? Oftentimes you're selling the features of something, what your offers are, or you're not clear on your offers. Maybe you have the right offers, but the wrong people that you're trying to sell it to. Maybe you have the wrong offer for the wrong people. Like it might be any combination of things, but those are some of the issues, okay? And that is why clarity has to be top of mind and top of the list, okay? And that's why I started with that. And clarity as far as your mindset, by shifting your mindset and getting crystal clear and focused on what it is, who it is you help, and how you help them, okay? Also, I need you to realize you can't help everyone. And you're not for everyone. And guess what? Everyone's not for you, right? You are a specialist, not a generalist. And I use this analogy a lot, right? When I talk about who you are as the expert and who it is you serve, because again, going back to clarity and having that understanding that you are in fact a specialist as opposed to a generalist, meaning you are not here to serve everyone, because if you're trying to talk to everyone, then you end up not talking to anyone or helping anyone for that matter. Therefore, that is why you're not reaching those people that you want to reach. Does that make sense? So you've got to call out your ideal client avatar by talking about the pain points that they have, the problems, the desires that they are wanting, the urgent need that they have right now. And you've got to speak to the transformation. Sometimes people are aware that they have the problem, but they already have the problem. Once you've identified it for them and helped to kind of pre-qualify them as being the one to raise their hand and say, hey, she's talking to me, then how is it that you can actually help them? And that's why I'm saying your messaging needs to be clear as well. Okay. I also did a video that dropped, I think, yesterday as of this recording. You want to go back and check that out when I'm talking about titles, because that's something else you need to be clear on as well. And how I talk in that video specifically about tying your title to the specific pain point or problem that you help your client solve. Okay. You'll want to check that out for sure. Now, niche marketing is a real thing. And I know people, talk about, or you could say niche or niche or tomato, potato, potatoes, all the same. Okay. Just depends on your preference or how you learned it to be pronounced. But I say niche, or if I'm saying niche to get rich, then I use it in that way. But regardless, it's still the same. And what that means is, yes, you are narrowing down who it is you're helping. And that might feel like a limitation. And trust me, I ain't the kind of chick who, does well with the limitations. Don't like place me in a box. Don't give me restrictions. I don't want to be in nobody's cage or bubble or have any kind of limitations, right? When I say I am limitless and fearless, and in abundance, I don't think in scarcity mindset and all of that. And so you might feel like, well, isn't that going against everything that I'm feeling about, abundance and being limitless and being fearless if you are the same, right? That if you are a thought leader, especially, I know a lot of my thought leaders out there really have a tough time with this because you're leading the way, right? You're the catalyst for change. You're an influential leader and all of that. However, I would task you with this and challenge you to think clearly about niche marketing and narrowing your focus to a segment of the market, because what you are doing is giving yourself the freedom you deserve. Okay. And you end up helping more of the people who actually need you for precisely for the position you're in to help them achieve what it is they need help achieving. That means you're helping them with a specific problem, just as if you were going to a doctor, going back to how I said I use the analogy of a specialist versus a generalist, right? A doctor who is a generalist or a family practitioner kind of works with the broad scope of things, right? They work with everybody in the family of all ages, from children to the elders and everybody else in between, right? A wide population of people. But a specialist only works with a specific market, a segment of the market, a small population of people, right? Not small, but in comparison to, casting a wide net, they're going deep, not wide, by working with a specific group of people. That's what I'm saying. And you need to be the same. So if you had heart problems, you're not going to go see a generalist, right? Or you might start off going to see your family doctor, but that doctor is going to recommend that you see a cardiologist, because a cardiologist, what do they do all day, every day? They help people with heart problems. Same is true or if you had skin issues and you need to go see a dermatologist. Why? Because they specialize in that and that alone. They don't try to help every single person, right? They're not pretending that they know how to deliver babies or, help you with your heart issues or your skin issues, right? Or if you are somebody who has diabetes or some other issues internally, you might see an internalist, right? Or an internist, and a doctor who's an internal medicine doctor, or an endocrinologist. Do you understand what I'm saying? So those specific specialties or specialists, they're there for a reason. And that reason is to help you with that specific problem. And that is what niche marketing is. They're not trying to appeal to everybody. They are only working on those specific conditions, medical conditions in this case. And you need to focus on your specific conditions, if you will, that you help your people with. Okay. Hopefully that's clear, or clearer than maybe what I had given you as an example earlier. But I like to give a couple different examples so that you can, something clicks for you. Okay. So hopefully that was insightful. Now, before we go any further, by the way, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I want to go beyond this video, so let's continue to have this dialogue. Let me know if this is helpful so far. And if you are finding my content helpful, then go ahead and subscribe so you can stick around a little longer, okay? And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live. Now, next thing up is I want you to understand that you're building both a business and a brand. But sometimes you're focused on building the brand and all of the aesthetics and not so much the business, the profitable side of things. Okay. Now, the two do tie in together, but sometimes we are focused way too much on the aesthetics and being attractive and appealing. And while that does matter, all the pretty colors, right? Your brand colors, your logo, your font, and all of that, and who you are as a brand and what your personality type is and what you stand for and what your beliefs are, all of that matters. And so does how it is you actually build your business. Because see, aesthetics don't fix and can't fix misalignment, right? Or unclear offers. So I need for you to understand that as you are building your business and your brand, you really need to first be crystal clear on all of the things that I just talked about. Okay, because I don't want to like make this a repetitive video. Now, the other thing is you are playing small AF. You are. And sometimes that is because you only know what you know. Okay. Other times you're just dimming your own light and hiding behind your own shadow and self-sabotaging and allowing imposter syndrome, which by the way is a real scam, to take over. You've bought into that whole belief system, right? That you're not ready, that you're not enough in whatever ways. And that's just not true. So I need you to stop playing small for you and for those you are called to serve, because you've got bigger work to do here. And we can't do that in our smallness when we are designed to walk into the magnitude of our greatness. Okay? That's a quotable. All right? I just might put that on a t-shirt. All right. Say you heard it here first and give me credit if you decide to repeat that. Okay? Don't you hate that sidebar when people will take somebody's quote and they know they heard it from somebody else and they will say it out of their mouth as if it was their own, like they just made that up so they can get the applause? Like, girl, bye. Right? Anyways, you heard it here first. If you happen to repeat it, I don't mind. Just give your girl some credit, please, and thank you. Now, say the thing that scares you as we're talking about playing small. Say it out loud. The best way to address that demonic spirit that I'm going to rebuke for you, let's get the holy oil, girl. Let's throw him on the demon, okay? Let's rebuke that spirit in all seriousness. We got to really truly believe in who we are and who we are designed to be, who God made us to be, right? And who is showing up for us, looking for us, actually, hoping, wishing, praying that we would show up. And then when we do, we play small. Let's dream big, let's play big. Okay? If whatever it is that's scaring you right now, whatever fears you have, let's go ahead and look that thing right in the face, square up with it, right? And let's duke it out. Okay? We really need to start peeling back the layers and dealing with those issues that we don't really want to address, because we've got to figure out where these fears stem from so that we can actually heal that. Okay. And that's why I talk a lot about healing on my channel. And that's why that work is so important, right? It's healing. It's what's going on up here in our mind. It's also what's going on here in our hearts and in our souls. And again, that misalignment piece is huge. So let's get clear on how we're misaligned. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're addressing whatever it is that scares us. Your audience is craving real talk, and I want you to start showing up with the message that they need to hear, even if you're scared to talk about it, because it's the real part of you, the most authentic part of you, authentic, like down to your core. Like, who are you really? People really want to know that. Okay. Now, I have shared so many stories here because stories connect us. When people can hear your story, they relate to you, right? You need to come off as more relatable and they can resonate with that. If you show up as this perfect, polished, positive Patty, super professional all the time, not showing up as your real true self, you're not believable, right? And people can feel that, they sense that, and they don't trust it, especially women, because we operate from feelings and intuition, emotions, right? And we are also, as a people, as consumers, we're emotional buyers. And so if you're not showing up as the real true you and people sense that, they're not going to get to know you. They're not going to like you necessarily. And they're certainly not going to trust you. And if they don't have any of those three factors, which attribute to their buying patterns and habits and their decision-making process, if they're not feeling you, they're not going to buy from you. Right? They're not going to tune into you. They're not going to listen to you. So make sure you're just showing up as a real true you. Okay. Don't be afraid to be you. And then just watch the tables turn. Watch how many things, how this gets better for you. But you can't be too afraid to try. It does take courage, for sure. But you'd be surprised that people aren't on the other side judging you. And yes, there are always going to be those people, but I'm talking about your people. Kind of put blinders on in that regard and stay focused on who it is you're talking to. And that's it. Now, if you are done blaming the algorithm and ready to get real, like really real, okay, I want you to book a Freedom and Focus Clarity call with me, because clearly you need more guidance, more support, and I'm here to do just that. Whenever you're ready, just holler. I'm going to leave that pin link in the comment below, so you can click on it, go ahead and book your call, and let's get on a call together and figure out what we need to do next, where it is you're struggling and why, and how I can further support you, okay? And I would love to talk to you in the comments as well. So make sure you also leave a comment and let me know what you got out of this video. Lots of value, I'm sure. Now, that's my time, so I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to watch the next video that YouTube recommends and share this out with at least 3 friends, okay? As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.